once, oh, so that's another thing that this becomes like tricky because so depending on JT, if he's in that room talking, it's fine. If he comes in here and talks, there's feedback. So usually I'm like playing with the volume, turning it down, turning it back up.
Okay,
Because it's recording the sound from here,
okay.
but I'll be right back.
Do you put this on full screen then?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Did anything yet?
So, what did I do? So the sound stays on this one. With the microphone on. Yeah, and then did you do go live already?
Yeah.
Instructions, and you can't see what I'm doing, right? Because it's only that. Right? So that makes sense.
Alyssa. Alyssa, can you hear me? Okay. Could you unmute Kyle Andrews? Okay.
Mrs. Emilian, just double checking to see if we have all the board members and administrators logged in. Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have all board members unmuted?
No, I'm still waiting to allow me to unmute two of them, so I just need to get those unmuted, but once you can, I will.
Okay, all right. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Eastern Area School District Board of Education to order. And at this time, I will ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, everyone. At this time, I will, Mrs. Ramirez, if you have the roll noted. Okay. We do have the 9 board represented. We'll certainly let her know. We're going to need her for the roll calls and things like that. If we can work on that. Okay.
Ali, if I
All
do
right,
my
with
computer over
the
to you.
roll noted, we'll move to section 2, superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Shando. As we continue to work towards the beginning of the school year, I'd like to provide the board and the community an update on our work regarding the pandemic and the opening of schools. PDE has required each school district to appoint a pandemic coordinator and a collaborative group of stakeholders to create a plan for safely returning students and staff to our schools. Our team consists of administrators, teachers, school nurses, community partners, parent, and community health professionals that have met on multiple occasions to develop Eastern Area School District's plan. The team is also broken up into 16 work groups focusing on developing procedures which center around facility cleaning, social distancing, monitoring student and staff health, professional development, and communication. There is ever-changing information surrounding the health and safety plans for schools to reopen, which this team is monitoring and dialoguing about on a daily basis. The goal is to develop a comprehensive plan which will be presented in July and be in effect for the reopening of schools. We know that parents, students, and our staff need answers as soon as possible. Unfortunately, this continues to be a very fluid situation, as evidenced by the recent spikes in COVID cases across the country. We will continue to work with our local health officials and the other school districts in Northampton County to create a plan that best supports our students and staff throughout the 2020-2021 school year. Thank you. That concludes my report, Mr. Shando.
Thank you very much, Mr. Caprara. We will move to section 3, board reports, and first one on the agenda, Colonial Unit 20, Mr. Snyder.
Yes, thank you. Just real quick, the newsletter is posted as a PDF on Board Docs under this agenda, and other than that, we have no other report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. We'll move to Eastern Area Public Library. I believe I received a communication from Mrs. Ramirez today that there will not be a report. Am I correct, Mrs. Ramirez? Oh, that's right, you did send it. Thank you. Career Institute of Technology, either Mr. Guth, Mrs. Hess, or Ms. Price.
George, it's Tom. I was not on due to work obligation. I was on the last call last month.
Okay.
However, I did brief with myself. I'm not sure about Jody or Michelle, but I briefed with 2 of the members on there, and there wasn't much to share on our end with Easton.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Guth, Ms. Price.
Mr. Shando,
Yes.
I do believe, and Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, or any other board member, I think they're in the process of searching for the principal position. I think one of the gentlemen left and they're interviewing now, so I don't know if anybody has an update on that. Okay. So that's to come down the road, probably within the next few weeks we'll hear some news.
Thank you. Northampton Community College, Mrs. Ramirez, did you receive anything?
No, I did.
Okay, thank you very much. Foundation for Eastern Schools, Ms. Siaga.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Shando. In addition to the update for board members that's in the packet, I just wanted to mention that the foundation is working hard to try to assist the district in their efforts related to some of the financial implications of the COVID-19 situation. In particular, they are working with the district to be able to apply for some grants through Northampton County to purchase COVID-related supplies and equipment. So Foundation has applied for 2 grants for that. The Safe Return to School, which is a over $7,000 grant, as well as the Telework Project, which is a $15,000 request to help with the purchase of laptops. In addition to that, the foundation is working with the school district to do some fundraising with donors to perhaps help offset some additional technology costs that we are going to review tonight, actually related to the purchase of some iPads for our K-2 students. So we are busy working on those items over the summer. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Siaga. The Charles Schrin Science and Technology Initiative, Ms. Ted.
I report.
Thank you. Association reports. I believe we received the communication. But let me first start. Is there anything from the EAEA? And Mr. Dealey?
Hi, Mr. Chando.
Okay, Mr. Dealey?
I'm here.
Okay.
Happy summer. I just want to say that we have quite a crew that is trying to get prepared for the reopening of school. However that looks, we are taking that very seriously, and hopefully, I think with the guidance that we're getting, we will be prepared to start the next school year. It's a daunting task, but I think we're doing it the right way, and I just want to express my appreciation for the board and for the administration and everybody else that's part of that team, and the parents. I know we really want to make sure that we get to see our kids next year. There's nothing like being in the classroom, and we know we need to do this right. So thank you for your support, and I look forward to talking to you when this plan is all in place.
Thank you, Mr. Daly, and certainly thanks to the members of the district who are working on that committee to be able to put forth all of the various options for a reopening in the fall. Are there any other representatives from associations that would like to report? I don't know if we have I don't believe we have a student. Although I know we have a new one that was appointed, but I don't know that we have an individual attendance. Okay, I don't see it. I don't think we have any other association reports. So we'll move to section 4, public to be heard on agenda items. If there's anyone in the public that would like to comment on an agenda item that's been posted, you need to click on the chat icon, state your name, you will be recognized, and you'll have 5 minutes. None?
Seeing none this time.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Cabral, Mrs. Emili. We will move to section 5, executive session report. And for the public record, the Board of Education held executive sessions on May 26, 2020, June 9, 2020, and June 17, 2020. Just calling that for the public record. We'll move to section 6, approval of minutes. And I'll remind the board once again that whoever moves the motion and seconds it, just to please give your name so we can help out the supervisors. So approval of minutes, I'll ask for the motion to approve the meeting minutes for the following meetings that were held, which was the regular board meeting on April 21st, 2020, a special board meeting on May 5th, 2020, the standing committees meetings on academics, education, technology, student services, athletics, budget and finance, buildings and grounds, personnel negotiations, and policy. All those committee meetings were held on May 5th, 2020.
So moved, Ed.
Second, Susan.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Dr. Keating?
Yes.
Ms. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Hess?
Yes.
Ms. Underwood?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Whitman?
Yes.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes. Motion carries. We'll move to section 7, personnel. And I'd like to move 7A and 7B together. 7A, motion to accept the resignation of 3 staff members, and 7B, motion to accept with regrets 3 staff retirements as presented.
Motion, Brian.
Second, Michelle.
A, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mr. Booth? Mr. Booth?
Yes. Sorry, wouldn't unmute. Yes.
Dr. Keating?
Yes.
Ms. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Underwood?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Whitman?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes. That motion carries. We'll move 7C through 7F together. 7C, a motion to approve the administrative transfer of a staff member, of 1 staff member. 7D, a motion to elect and approve grade 7 and 8 middle school principal. 7E, motion to elect a professional employee contract. And 7F, a motion to elect 7 TPE positions, all as presented.
Moved by Meg.
Second, Michelle.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Ramirez, roll call?
Mr. Keegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Price? Yes. Mrs. Hess? Ms. Ayago?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Whitman?
Yes.
Mrs. Hartman?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Mr. Shandor?
Yes. Those motions carried.
Mr. Shando,
Yes.
thank you. I'd like to just jump in real quick and congratulate our very own John Couples, who was just approved by the board to be the new 7-8 principal at the Easton Area Middle School. Those people who know John know what he's capable of doing. We're very proud of his work to this point, and we know he's going to continue to make us proud. So we're thrilled to have him in a leadership role in collaboration with Charlene and Dr. Simia. I know the two of them are going to do a phenomenal job, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cabrera. We'll move 7G and 7H together. 7G is a motion to approve 4 athletic coaching positions, and 7H is a motion to approve 3 support staff substitutes as presented.
Moved by Meg.
Second, Susan?
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Ramirez, roll call.
Mrs. Price?
Sorry. Roll call?
Mrs. Price? Yes. Mrs. Hess?
Yes.
Ms. Ayago?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Whitman?
I'm going to read, as our country suffers through this crisis we're in, our communities work to heal themselves. I cannot in my heart and conscience vote to replace Jamar Billman, our African-American wrestling coach. I'm voting no for Joseph Karam, yes for Kim Pritchman, Jordan Butler, Calvin Myers, and Paul of H.
Mrs. Hartman?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with, Mr. Whitman. I'm yes for all except for the males wrestling coach.
Dr. Keegan?
Yes.
Mr. Shandor?
Yes. Those motions carried. We'll move 7I and 7J. 7I is the motion to approve the 2020-2021 Athletic Intramural Coaches Program. And 7J is the motion to approve the 2000, I read that one, I'm sorry. Let me go back to 7I. Let me get this, because they were changed. 7I was the spring coaches, if I'm correct. Spring and winter coaches. That's 7I.
And athletic intramural program.
And the athletic intramural program is 7I. And 7J is the move to the approval of the winter and spring athletic coaches as presented.
Susan, so moved.
Second, Ryan.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hess?
I abstain on J.
Ms. Ayago?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Whitman?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Dr. Keegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Price? Mr. Shandor?
Yes. Those motions carried. We'll move to 7K and 7L. 7K, motion to ratify a 1-year extension to the collective bargaining unit, excuse me, between Easton Area School District and ASCO 1893. And 7L, motion to approve the one-time retirement incentive between the Easton Area School District and Act 93 members, both as presented.
So moved, Susan.
Second, Meg.
Okay, those motions have been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ms. Ayago?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Whitman?
Yes.
Mrs. Cartwright?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Dr. Pinckney?
Yes.
Mrs. Price? Yes. Mrs. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Chando?
Yes. Those motions carry. We'll move to, pardon?
It's you.
We'll move to section 8, academics, educational technology, and student supports. And we'll take 8A and 8B together. 8A is a motion to approve the Eastern Area Middle School Improvement Plan, and 8B is a motion to approve the step-by-step learning contract, both as presented.
Moved by Meg.
Second, Michelle?
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call. I'm sorry.
Comment.
Go ahead, Mrs. Hess.
I say, again, the step-by-step learning contract, I think we're paying an awful lot of money and not getting the data results that we were expecting or that we were told we would be receiving. So I'm just gonna say again that I have concerns of how much money we're spending for the contract.
Mr. Chair, I appreciate, what Mrs. Hess is saying too. I was wondering if it's possible to take a look at this again, because it was, I apologize, I didn't really get a good chance at looking at it. But I would like to go through that data again if I could, just to make sure, because it is a lot of money. I'm wondering if we could, is it possible if we could take a look, or is it something that we have to do tonight?
Mr. Pepperada, if you could respond to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to Alyssa and/or Tracy. I know they're much more involved with the contract than I am. So I know today's June 30th. Do either of you have a response to that?
Sure, this is Tracy Piazza. I'm online, so thank you for taking a minute to discuss this. And I do apologize for the lateness of the information, so I completely understand the need to look at it a little bit further. I think it's okay to look at it further. The hesitation is that if we are going to approve it, we're going to approve it through our Ready to Learn block grant, which those monies are to be spent by July 1, by June 30th. But I believe that we can earmark it and open that up to spend the money as long as we have that earmarked by that time. So if we need a little bit more time, that should be fine. Mrs. Hess and I did speak a little bit earlier today, and some of her concerns most certainly are valid. Our data looks really quite good in K and 1, and there are some pockets in second grade and some individual schools where it's not as significant as we hoped it to be just yet. But I do still support this company and this process. As Mr. Pipparata and I had spoken a couple of times, my goal really is to gain enough insight from them to then make it sustainable in the district without having to use their resources. And my estimation would be another year to 2 years, this year and one more perhaps, in order for us to do that and have gone through the various protocols at each of the grade levels. So my recommendation is still to go through it, knowing that there are pockets of the data that are not moving as quickly as we had hoped they would.
Well, and I agree with concerns, but you trust in your judgment, so if you say go ahead with this, then yes, I will vote yes also. That's a lot of money.
What I'm hearing is a couple of board members have concerns. We can do it one of two ways. Move it as it was, or we can ask the person who's first move the motion and the person who seconded it, if they're willing to rescind their motions. And on 8B. Mr. Ramirez, I don't know.
Yeah, that was me, I guess. It's,
Meg, and I don't know who seconded it.
Meg, before you do that, I apologize, I'm still a little confused as to what Tracy said. Because Tracy, did you say we have to earmark the money by June 30th, which is today? But if we earmark the money for step-by-step and the board decides not to approve this contract down the road, what happens to that money that was earmarked for step-by-step?
So my understanding is for the Ready to Learn block grant, we ideally have the invoices out and back up before June 30th. In speaking with Mr. Hunter earlier this week, my understanding is that the money is, I don't know where terminology, but the money has already been secured by the district. We just have to make sure that we're spending it in a timely manner. So what would happen there is we would need to ask our business office to open the 2019-20 budget, if you will. So prior to July 1 budget, so that we can still spend that money in that fiscal year, if that makes sense. So the money's sitting there. Ideally, it's spent before July 1, but it's not going away. We would just have to post it, if you will, I guess is the right word, in the 1920 academic budget year.
Okay, so let's get Mr. Simonetta. Thank you, Tracy. That was very well done. I just want to make sure that, we all understand what's happening. Mike, do you have anything to add to this? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, posting it in the 1920 fiscal year will not be an issue.
Okay. So if the board takes more time to consider this and we approve it, for example, in the July 21st meeting, that's not an issue I'm hearing from you, Mike?
Yeah, we can cover money in the 1920 school year, and we usually hold it up until September 30th.
Okay.
At that point, everything needs to be done, either paid or encumbered for the purposes of the audit.
Okay. And if conversely, the board decides not to approve this contract, do we lose those monies?
From the teaching and learning perspective, should we not approve the contract, we certainly have other expenditures that we pay for out of teaching and learning, or Title I, II, or III. So, by all means, the money, the dollars and cents can be used.
Okay.
For things that we'd be paying out of a different district budget.
Okay. I just want to echo Tracy's words that I do support this program. I think we've seen some progress. I know other districts have seen some tremendous progress. And as Tracy said, since I've come on board, we've had a lot of conversations about getting to a point where we're self-sufficient and we train our own in-house people to continue the program moving forward. Having said that, I absolutely understand and support the board's desire to maybe look at this a little more closely and to give it some additional thought. And it sounds like, based on what our CFO is telling us and what Tracy is telling us, that we're okay to do that.
And I want to apologize too, Tracy and Dave too. I remember the presentation. It was a while ago. And I'm an old man, and I might not remember everything. I tried, and after I read some emails today, I was like, I better go in and look. I just didn't have time to take a look at it closely, and for that amount of money, I would just like to make a better informed decision. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, actually, no apology needed. Typically, I would have done a full presentation at the Academics and Ed Committee meeting, and the data just wasn't, the contract wasn't prepared by the company in a timely manner with some changes that I had asked them to make. So no apologies needed. It was really short notice that you received it, and I certainly understand wanting to review them more carefully. It is a lot of money.
Thank you very much.
So I'm back to where I believe I was before, in that I would need the individual who made the motion and the second to make a motion to rescind their motion of 8B.
So that would be me. I made the initial motion. I will go ahead and rescind it, though I do want to say that I do support this program, and I wanted to make sure that we do what we need to do to move it forward. So we'll be sure to get the needed information to board members, either schedule a meeting or individually as needed. So out of respect for their desire for more information and time, I will go ahead and withdraw that particular motion now.
Okay, and who seconded it, please?
I think, did I second it?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so I will rescind for, was it 8B?
8B, yes.
8B.
Okay, Solicitor Freund, do we have to take a vote on that motion to rescind? Okay. Solicitor Freund, do we have to take a roll call vote to rescind a motion on 8B?
No, you don't. Simple withdrawal of the motion.
Okay. So 8B has been withdrawn, and we will now move 8A once again, which is a motion to approve the Eastern Area Middle School Improvement Plan as presented.
So move, Susan.
All right, 8A has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mr. Whitman?
Yes.
Mrs. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Dr. Beatty?
Yes.
Mrs. Price? Yes. Mrs. Hess?
Yes.
Mrs. Sarako?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Chandler?
Yes. That motion carries. We'll move 8C through 8E. 8C, motion to approve the purchase of iPads for kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 2, as presented in order to accommodate the one-to-one in-person and remote learning for all students. 8D, motion to approve the purchase of iPad cases for kindergarten, grade 1 and 2 at a cost not to exceed $52,200. And 8E, the motion to approve the purchase of 60 MacBook Air laptops for Eastern Area School District administrative personnel, professionals, in order to accommodate remote work requirements, all as presented.
Moved by Meg. Second, Meg.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Do we have a discussion?
Certainly.
Thank you. The first question I want to ask is that the K-1 iPads, which I think are a fantastic idea. However, will the teachers get some professional development on the use of the K-1? Because unless they've been using it already, and this is just a one-to-one situation, but I just want that cleared up in my head. Will they get professional development, or don't they need it? And because they've been using them all along.
And they have been using classroom sets up until now. So all of the things that we've done at the elementary level, they have had an opportunity to participate in. So this is just to allow us to have a one-to-one in the event that we have to move to a full remote or a hybrid remote learning.
Thank you. Beautiful, thank you. My second question, if I will, I want our administrative assistants to have the best equipment to do their job. Obviously, I would never want to hold that back. But my question is, do we need to purchase the MacBook Airs at this time without knowing exactly what we're doing with the school year? Or it seems to me if we earmark the money, maybe that's one thing, and if we don't use it, that's fine if we change plans or whatever. But I'm just a little worried about purchasing 60 MacBook Airs and then not having the model that we need to use them. This would be for them to shuttle, for our administrators to shuttle back and forth, correct? Because from what I read, is that their desktops are at their home now, correct? And that they would if they go back into the buildings, they can't drag their desktops back and forth, but they would need a portable computer, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that was really the impetus of presenting this option. Because right now, with the remote working being pretty much at 100%, we moved their desktops to their homes. But knowing that as we enter the school year, there's the likely possibility that we'll be on staggered schedules, and sometimes there will be remote work, and other times there will be in-person office work. There's really not the ability to move the desktop back and forth store them for student use for Project Lead the Way or our business lessons at the high school.
So the plan would be to, they would go to the MacBook Air full time, and then desktops would be brought back to school and repurposed.
That's correct.
Alyssa, when
So
would
really, sorry, is it safe to say that, regardless of, what color or phase or stage or whatever we're in, that, there's still an encouragement to work from home where possible? And so we're essentially guaranteed that some of these administrative professionals will, as you suggested, maybe have staggered schedules, or some days will work from home. And will therefore definitely need this technology by the start of the school year.
Yeah, that's pretty much a 100% likelihood that will occur. And especially when you consider the fact that there are files in the offices, so there will be times that they will have to be in the office, but then even in a brief phase, employers are being encouraged to telework whenever possible. And it's kind of scheduled of employees in offices. So we are presenting this so that we have the ability to do that. We also know there's lead time for training as well.
Alyssa, when would they have been due for an upgrade anyway?
Even if they're on a desktop, they're not on our single career system. Like, I'm not having them on the
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. So, given all of our other laptops we have on lease, why are we purchasing these versus leasing them?
small amount, we didn't want to do it expensive over a number of years. We were looking to just do the outright purchase, because we weren't going to be involved.
So, and Mike, can you or Alyssa, where is the money? I know some is used, we're looking to get, so what is the, additional over amount being pulled from?
So I'm giving for, portion of that money. We also can use, CARES money for any of the purchases for our schools. They are, particularly in these times, the changes that we've had to make, you're worried to utilize that money as well.
Okay, are there any other clarifications that are needed?
No, but I guess my other question is, I know we had set up for return of equipment. Have we had any issues of people returning?
So you're talking about students? The students?
Yeah.
We've received a lot more than we've anticipated in those few returns. We also, at this point, we just set up the return of the items that we have for our, that belong to our students, for the return of student belongings. And we've received a lot of inquiries as it changes some great, so we've actually fared pretty well with our returns.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other clarifications here? Okay, Mr. Ramirez, roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Price? Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes, those motions carried. We'll move 8F through 8H. 8F is a motion to approve the use of Title III grant funds for the Community Literacy Trainer Liaison Contract at a cost not to exceed $30,843. 8G, motion to approve the annual community school contract. And 8H, motion to approve the annual MOUs. The
So move, Susan.
If I may,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
I just have a question before we move to the vote, Mr. Shando.
Sure.
The contract for the community literacy trainer, is that a renewal of a contract that we had existing, or is it a new person slash service?
This is an annual contract, and we've had this in place for probably at least 10 or so years. So this is something that we do through 3 times on an annual basis.
Great, thank you.
Okay, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. This motion's carried. We'll move 8I and 8J. 8I, promotion to approve the physicians and dentist recommendations for 2020-21 school year. And 8J, a motion to approve the agreement between the Loving Care Incorporated, Avena Healthcare to provide public nursing services, both as presented.
If I may,
Second, Brian.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Those motions carried. We move to section 9, athletics. And we have one item, 9A, motion to approve the Eastern Area School District Athletic Health and Safety Plan as required by PDE and the PIAA as presented.
So move. Second, Susan.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Wait, I'm sorry, I have a question before we move on.
Go ahead.
So is the plan that's been presented, is that a plan that is only in effect when we're in a green phase, or is that a plan that can be implemented both in green and if we were to go back to yellow?
That is for both phases, yellow and green.
Okay.
And that is a fluid plan that is ever changing based on the information that we're gathering. St. Luke's University Health Network, which is our athletic provider, gave us this outline and our recommendations, and we're using what ability we have in Easton to implement. Here in Easton, we're not looking at what other schools are doing, we're just focusing strictly on Easton.
Thank you, and thank you for the detailed plan. I'm sure that that's been quite a bit of work over the last 2 weeks or so. You've given us a lot to do that, the logistics of scheduling all of these groups on different parts on campus at different times. All this environment, clearly a lot of work. So I know it's greatly appreciated by our athletes and coaches who are, ready to get back to play.
Thank you, and that was done by a committee of coaches and athletic trainers, and again, with the help of St. Luke's to get us a tentative plan in place, and we'll adjust it as necessary starting July 6th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other clarifications needed? Okay, roll call, Mrs. Ramirez.
Yes.
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 Yes. We'll move to section 10, budget and finance. 10A, motion to approve the payment of bills for the general fund, special activities, capital projects, and food service accounts as presented.
Susan.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, the motion carries. Remove 10B, motion to approve the adoption of the Eastern Area School District 2020-2021 final general fund budget and the attached resolution as presented.
Okay.
Second, Ed.
10B has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries. 10C, motion to accept the Eastern Area Public Library budget in the total amount of $2,478,697 and resolve to establish the tax levy as presented.
Okay, Susan.
10C has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. 10D, motion to approve the homestead farmstead exclusion resolution as presented.
Motion, Jody. Second, Susan.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Motion carries. 10E, motion to approve the bids for athletic equipment and training supplies as presented.
So moved, Susan.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries. We move to section 11, buildings and grounds. 11A, motion to approve the proposal for a clean fill assessment for the Cunningham Stadium project as presented.
So moved, Susan.
Second, Ed.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes.
the intent is to have us approve it on the 21st.
That is the intent, and to be honest with you, I don't know that we're gonna be able to have it completed much before that. So remember, the process that we're following right now does in fact include many stakeholders from across the community. So, I guess my point is, that this will be about a month process to put this plan together. So I don't have an issue with opening that process to the community and presenting to them what it is that we're planning to do. The concern would be that if your expectation is that once we receive feedback, we make revisions to that plan, large scale revisions, and that's certainly not possible. So I understand the need for public participation. That's why we have all the different work groups working right now that are pooling different opinions from parents, from teachers, from administrators. But to do wide scale changes after the plan is completed and before it's approved by the board is probably not something that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect there to be, wide scale changes, but just like we do, if this was not a summer month, we would have these opportunities in committee meetings to, at least have that public conversation, and we don't have that in the month of July. So, and again, I'm certainly not expecting anything, significantly early, but, even the day before or maybe late in the week before, just to give people the opportunity to converse, and maybe ask any clarifying questions, that sort of thing.
Sure, absolutely. I think we can certainly do. I know we can certainly do that.
Yeah.
So thank you for clarifying. And yeah, we'll look at calendars. What I'm hearing, Mr. Shando, is not the 21st, but to do it ahead of time. So we'll look at calendars. We'll schedule something. We'll advertise, and we'll make sure that presentation is as comprehensive as possible, so that the board understands what we're approving and the community is prepared for August.
Okay, sounds good. Completely approach. Thank you, Mr. McBride. Any other business?
Not necessarily a piece of business, but I want to give a shout out to Mr. Yanders for his videos on Facebook about the closing of Justin. Being a cougar myself and my children being cougars and nieces and nephews, it just was very, very heartwarming, and frankly, I cried. I cried in his last video as he walked through, and knowing that was it. If you don't, if you haven't had an opportunity, please look for it on Facebook. Very well done.
Thank you, Susan. Anyone else? We'll move then to publicly heard on non-agenda items. If there's anyone in the public that would like to address the board or comment on non-agenda items, you need to click the chat icon, state your name, and you'll be recognized and have 5 minutes.
We do have someone, Mr. Shando.
Yes.
Can you recognize that individual, please?
Margaret Blair.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Boyer.
Okay, my name is Margaret Boyer, and I'm the political action chair with the Eastern Branch NAACP. My purpose here tonight is to protest the firing and a non-renewal of Coach Brogan's tenure as the East Bend Area High School wrestling coach. The decision by the school board's proxy, that is the school freshman superintendent, Ms. Yet he was singled out because the assistant superintendent and the athletic director did not want him as coach. That is plain and simple. Their animus goes back to 2018, when they were the driving forces in his premature dismissal back then. Because of the assistant superintendent's influence at that time, in the administration's hasty decision to terminate Mr. Philman, the former superintendent, Mr. Reinhardt, informed this writer and NAACP President Lance Wheeler that he issued a warning in the assistant superintendent's personnel file.
Mr. Boyer,
Okay, all right. I will
have to stop you. Cannot comment on anybody, any employee or their performance. Please keep your comments that don't include that.
The firing was racist. It was unfair, and it's evidence of the cronyism, favoritism, nepotism, and bad decisions that have been a hallmark of this school district's administrations for some years now. I speak to you tonight, both as a taxpayer and a concerned community member. The fact that I and others, including Tammy Santiago, have amassed nearly 2,500 signatures on Facebook of those community members, including illustrious former sports stars at Easton, upset with the firing of Philman and the administration's lack of transparency is indicative of the lack of confidence in its school administration's decision-making abilities. Shame. Just look at the number of financial settlements this district has made over the past number of years. Taxpayers' money to settle bad decisions by administrative personnel. Yet there has been no significant change in how this administration goes about doing business. You can take it to the bank that this school district will again pay out of pocket for the building debacle. I'm outraged by the blatant disregard for fair treatment to one of the icons in Easton's sports history. Change is needed, transparency is needed. The diversity committee that the school district has is a shame. It's a diversity committee and name only. There are no black administrators. We need more black educators who are underrepresented given the minority school population. Hispanic and black comprise over 45%. As a representative of the NAACP, we demand to meet with you, Mr. Chando and Mr. Piparato, so we can discuss corrective action going forward. Again, I'm ashamed of this school district's action as relates to Mr. Billman. That's all I have by way of requesting a formal meeting to with just tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boyer. Anybody?
Hi, this is Julie Smith. I live in College Hill in Easton. I just wanted to reiterate Ms. Sayago's point that she asked Mr. Figurato about presenting a plan to parents. I think it's vitally important that you communicate with the public as soon as you can. I understand it's a very large school district with many thousands of school children, but for students to be, for parents to be able to plan is really important. And so I urge you, even if I understand there are communities on there, but I urge you to sort of engage as much as possible with the board and community members so that we can get a good
appreciate the fact that we're unified in doing so. I appreciate all of the work that came out of the business office to make that happen, all the different considerations that had to be made, sacrifices that had to be made in order for us to remain in good financial standing and for us to be concerned with and consider the taxpayers of this community. I would also like to remind the community that Mr. Boyer is representing an opinion that is not necessarily based in fact. He doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me, and I've been very transparent about this process moving forward. And we look forward to meeting with him and any other representatives of the NAACP. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bergerado. Any other board member? I just want to, take the opportunity to thank the Budget and Finance Committee, District Administration, the CFO, Mr. Simonetta, his staff, and the board itself for really addressing this budget issue and having some long and hard conversations to be able to present a budget that is taking into consideration the economic plight of the community. It was not easy to be able to come in and say there'll be a zero tax increase, because that takes a lot of work to be able to examine everything and to be able to make that happen. It's easy to say we want a zero tax increase. It's another thing to be able to take a look at how we can get that accomplished. And in these most trying times, I just want to extend to everyone heartfelt thanks and appreciation for your work. And it will certainly require throughout this 2021 school year continuous monitoring on our budget, because this is going to be a tight year. But once again, thank you to everyone. Okay, unless there's any other business from board members, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion, Susan.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Ramirez, roll call.
Yes. Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Martin Davis?
Yes.
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 Right? What is that?
Mr. Candace? Yes. The motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.